Welcome to this edition of Inside NAU. I'm Teresa Beerer. Northern Arizona University researchers have been studying the effects of uranium for several years. Some important work in that area comes from a graduate student who also happens to be the first Native American to earn a Ph.D. in biology. Stefanie Raymond Whish was raised on the Navajo reservation. She's been studying the effects of uranium on the female reproductive system. She's also been looking for answers to why her mother and grandmother developed breast cancer, answers which could help a greater population.
Another reason is because of, much of the uranium mining took place on the Navajo reservation, and being Navajo, I think it is important to give back and do something that would help my people.
4 years ago, Raymond Whish began studying the hypothesis that uranium was mimicking the biological activity of estrogen. Her time in the lab substantiates that idea, an important breakthrough for cancer research because estrogen stimulates the growth of certain cancers.
We found that the cells grow faster with the uranium present. The breast cancer cells are responsive to estrogen and will grow in response or in the presence of estrogen. And we saw similar things with uranium. So we concluded it acts much like estrogen.
Raymond Whish's methodical work shows uranium exposure disrupts normal processes in the mammary glands and reproductive system.
For instance, some of Stefanie's data in the mammary gland of rats, where they drank water containing uranium, showed that their differentiation was accelerated. This is what you see when risk for breast cancer goes up. If you have exposure to an estrogen or an estrogen mimic at the wrong time in your life, there are going to be permanent changes that you will have the rest of your life, including risk for cancer.
This research comes after decades of uranium mining on the Navajo reservation, where many sites were not cleaned up, contaminating the groundwater. But Raymond Whish discovered there were biological changes to cells exposed to uranium levels occurring naturally.
So when a lot of people think about uranium, they think about its radioactivity and nuclear weapons. However, many of the health impacts that we looked at are not due to its radioactivity, rather it's due to its chemical properties.
And Raymond Whish's research is timely. Although uranium mining is no longer allowed on the Navajo reservation, ore prices are rising, bringing a renewed interest in uranium exploration.
With fossil fuels running out, we need new means to produce energy, and this is why uranium mining has become, the interest is so strident and has been renewed. And that's understandable, but what we have to appreciate is the last time uranium was dug out of the ground, things were not done very well. It was not, the tailings were not prevented from dispersing, the water was contaminated. So if we're gonna do this again, Stefanie's work tells us that not only do we have to be wary of the radioactive and heavy metal properties of uranium, but it has yet another mechanism that could interfere or really harm people.
Stefanie Raymond Whish's research showing uranium mimics estrogen in the body has many implications, especially because some of the uranium concentrations used in her experiments were at or below the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's level for safe drinking water. Raymond Whish has officially earned her Ph.D., and although she's graduated from Northern Arizona University, she still has plenty of work to do, with a lifetime worth of questions to answer, and a population who could benefit from her research.
I'm Ann Buzzard, the Development Director for Social and Behavioral Sciences, and you're watching Inside NAU.